Grace here. Welcome. And today we're talking about 5 ways to optimize your tapping practice. Now, if you're new to tapping, I'll do a quick demo just to give you an overview of this technique. And after that, we'll jump in 5 ways to actually make it work. So tapping is a very simple tool. It's designed to eliminate fears, negative emotions, limiting beliefs, and any self-doubts. It really is the next best thing to magic, and it's based on an ancient acupressure technique combination of modern neuroscience. Now, what you do physically, you actually tap on the acupressure points on your face and your body, and it actually works really quickly in terms of releasing stress. You'll notice your body reaction changes when you do this tapping process, and as a result, you have a different attitude or different way of seeing the situation or the problem. So let's go ahead and just do a quick tapping round together, and then we'll jump in 5 ways to optimize the practice. So when you start tapping, just think about something that bothers you. It could be a relationships, it could be a past hurt, it could be a money problem, or maybe you have a physical or emotional thing that you'd like to address. So as you go there, just think about what it is and tap on it by saying, it's okay to let it go. It's safe to clear it. Just let it go. It's safe to let it go. Letting it go now. So the points that we use are, there's one between the eyes, one on the side of the eyes, one under the eyes, one on the collarbone, and one where you just kind of grab your wrist and sort of pulse it around. Just do a few rounds. Notice my language. All what I'm saying is, it's okay to let it go, it's safe to let it go, just let it go. Because here's the truth, you already stepped into that situation, right? Remember I said think about something? So you know, your subconscious know what is it you're clearing and what is it that you're trying to process. And by tapping and stimulating those acupressure points, you actually send electromagnetic signals to the body organs that create stress. So this is bladder, this is gallbladder, this is kidney, this is stomach, this is kidney, and then you grab the wrist and push around. There's all of these meridian points that run down the arm that also create these body sensations. Because here's the truth, guys, stress does not happen in your mind. Mind sends the signal to the body, right? So if somebody will give you bad news, like maybe a boyfriend want to break up with you, or if you lose your job, or a client didn't pay on time, you start feeling it in your body. Your heart will beat faster. Your breathing pattern will change. The chances are you'll have like blood running to your face. So all of these changes are literally happening in the body. And this is why tapping works so well, because it literally helps you counteract the stress reaction that this kind of news or changes or things produce, right? So it helps you calm down, helps you make better decision in the morning, in a moment. And it really just helps you not to wear out your body, because that's what stress does, right? It really wears out your body on many levels. So you get older fast, you get sicker, you have a hard time to handle life, and your resilient levels goes down. So I always say tap all the time, because you'll feel younger, you'll feel healthier. It's just an amazing tool to help you out with stress. All right, so let's jump in with the first tip of the 5 ways to optimize your tapping practice. And the first one is start with the end in mind. So literally decide what is that you want to achieve, right? So make up something. Now, there are different opinions on how to do goals. Some people say set intention, don't do goals. But here's what I believe, guys. If you don't know what you want, how will you know that you get it, right? So get some clarity around what is it that you are looking for and what is it that you are asking for. So if it's something around your business, I'm trying to show it to you on my phone, maybe you have a money goal that you'd like to achieve. And what I do is my money goals, I literally write on the board right in front of me, so it's just like right there, I can see it, and it looks something like that. I don't think I can see this, but what you'll see there is there's a number of how much money I want to make in a certain period of time, and there's this little board that I kind of call out every time I make part of that income, and I track it every day. So it's like right there, so I'll tap on that. Another good example of outcome, if maybe you are building a relationships in your life, whether with an existing partner or you're looking for someone, get clear on what is it that you want, what kind of partner, what kind of relationships. And I remember tapping with a client. She actually was a business owner, and she had a hard time to launch a program. It was 3 years this program was sitting there. And we just started tapping. We worked together only for a few weeks, and she literally made $11,000 in a week after we did this work, right? And it was because she knew what is it that she's gonna do, and we clear all the negative beliefs with tapping, all the I'm not good enough with tapping, and results show up pretty fast. But again, make up your mind on what is it that you want. Fantastic. So tip number 2 is, and this is something that's really tricky for people because of the law of attraction, but here's the tip. Tap out the worst case scenario. So go to the worst of the worst and tap it out until it's just not real. Now, this is the one where people have a lot of resistance to because they don't want to think about negative, right? But here's the truth. If you, let's say, you are dating and you are looking for someone, but there's a part of you believes that all guys are, you know, how do I say it? Bad guys. There's no good guys there left, right? Then no matter who you date, you will look at them through the prism of that reality, right? Reality, quote unquote. And the truth is, it's not until you change your perspective or your outlook is that you'll start attracting this kind of scenarios over and over again. So you want to go into what is, what you believe at this moment. Be very honest with yourself and tap on it. And it really works on different levels. I remember about 2 years ago when my daughter got cancer. She's good now. She's in remission. She's healthy. But at that time, we just found out that she had leukemia. And it was a really difficult time. And I literally went into her dying, right? So I tapped on the fact, what if she dies? And I just did some work with it. I released and let it go. And I tapped on it and I worked with a practitioner and I cried a lot and we had a couple of sessions. But then I said, you know what? She's not going to die. She's going to get better. And, you know, we have medications and things are already working out. And I saw her walking with a full hair of, you know, hair back in her head and just being happy and running around. And sure enough, just a few weeks and months after that, things started changing so fast. And right now she's perfectly happy and healthy and running around and have gorgeous hair. But I had to go there because if you don't, that limiting belief, that underlying heavy emotion will suck all your energy out of you, right? So start thinking about what is the worst of the worst that you are afraid of. So maybe in your relationship, you're afraid to be hurt or betrayed, or they'll do or say something that you know they'll ruin your life. Tap on that and let it go, because guess what? It's in your mind right now. You might have had experienced it in the past, but the truth is every day is a new day, right? Every day is a new day. So you can rewrite your story, you can change those things, and it starts with your mind. It starts with you believe about yourself. So go to the worst of the worst and tap on it. And you know, I literally had a client who we were tapping on the bankruptcy. She and her husband, they filed for bankruptcy some time ago. And I said, well, what is the worst? She said, well, we'll get bankrupt again. So we tapped on that. First of all, she realized it's not even real. And, you know, her husband has an amazing job and she has an amazing business. So things really started picking up. So not only the financial situation improved, but the relationships improved too. So you always want to go back and release those deep-seated underlying things that are the skeleton in the closet, right? Or things that you kind of running away from. Because guess what? Whenever you go, you take your head with you, right? It doesn't really go away. And people say, well, I don't want to go into negative. I don't want to talk about negative. So I go, don't if it's not there. But if it's already there, let's get it out on the light and let's let it go, right? Okay, I hope it makes sense to you. So tip number 2, tap out the worst case scenario. All right, so tip number 3 is probably my favorite because this is the one that I use a lot. And this is the one that I teach to all my clients a lot. And it's tap in the moment. And you might have heard that. But honestly, guys, tap in the moment. When you get triggered, just start tapping, like right there, right then. And people say, well, I forget, and that's totally fine. And it takes practice. Like even sometimes I forget. But more than often, I'll feel something that triggers me or that creates discomfort in my body or that I feel something is coming up or my stomach will start turning. Or I'll get, you know, some kind of sensation in my head. I'll start tapping. I'll say, whatever it is, it's okay. It's safe to let it go. This stress, this negative emotion, whatever is coming up, it's safe to let it go. Just let it go. And guess what? Very often it's just the emotional residue from the past, right? You got triggered. Maybe you had an ex who was wearing red shirt and you see a guy who's wearing red shirt. Or you're dating a guy who's wearing red shirt. And all of a sudden, this emotions pop up, right? So it's good to clear it out so you don't get triggered and re-triggered and re-traumatized over and over again. And honestly, just, if you don't feel comfortable tapping in public, which I do, and so I just met a guy and we're dating, and I told him that he'll see me doing this, and I told him what it is. It's a very simple version of acupressure technique that helps me with stress and negative emotion. And if you see me doing this, all that it means that I got triggered and I feel a little stressed, and I'm just processing it. It's just like breathing or like meditation or like yoga. It's just another way. So I explained it to him. So he saw me tapping a couple of times. And that's totally fine to tell people what you do. Now, if you are maybe on a meeting or you are at the job where it's probably not okay to tap, or you're not just quite there yet, just say, excuse me, I need to use the restroom, and just step aside and go and tap in the restroom, just like that. Guess what? You'll come back, you'll see things differently, you'll think more clearly, you'll be more relaxed just after a few seconds of tapping. Now, another way to tap is to tap covertly. Now, you might have seen like every time or anytime you get a headache, you almost want to do this. You might have done that, right? So you do this, and what it does, it kind of helps you relax. And people do this without even thinking about it, right? So people get headaches, they'll start doing this. And it's because your body is infinitely wise. You already subconsciously know what points or how can you sort of, send those electromagnetic signals that will help you feel better. So use this. So let's say you're talking to someone like your boss or your friend or your ex or, whatever the situation is, your colleague, your client, and you start feeling triggered. So all I want you to do is just kind of go like this and like that and just grab those points. And if you look at it, it doesn't even look suspicious, right? It looks just somebody, sort of, scratching or rubbing their face. It doesn't even look like tapping. But what? You just do like one between the eyes, you go side of the eyes, you go like this. I do this all the time. Like if I don't want to tap in front of somebody who doesn't know tapping and I don't want to bother explaining it at that specific moment, I'll do this. I'll just go like that and like this. So try it out. Really awesome. Alrighty, fantastic. So tip number 3, tap in the moment. So tip number 4, this is something that I learned recently and it helped me so much. It has to do with not creating a story around your negative emotions. So if you ever notice, like anytime you have a negative emotions come up, the part of you will kind of always wanted to create a story around it. So let me give you an example. I remember a few weeks ago, I had a webinar planned, and on that same day, my daughter got an ear infection. So I had to cancel the webinar last minute and take her to emergency room, take her to the hospital. Now, what I noticed at this time is, like, of course, a lot of negative emotions. Like 100 people were waiting for me to come on the webinar. I'm worried about my kids, so lots of things happening, right? And I'm going like, oh my gosh, I'm a single mom. I have 2 kids. It's always going to be like this. Things going to come up. Things will get canceled. It'll be hard for me. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. So I literally had to stop myself because I noticed this spiral of emotions and thoughts going out from this just one particular event. I said, not necessarily. It's just this one time. It's totally fine. It happens. You have a kiddo. Kids get sick. You just tell people that we're scheduled and it's going to work out anyways. So I started tapping in that moment. I said, it's okay to let it go. She'll get better. Webinar will schedule. It's not a big deal. I don't have to make a story around it. It's okay to let it go. And guess what? We had an amazing webinar next week. You maybe even came to that one. It was a relationship one back in February. And it was really awesome. I had like 20 people in attendance. I had maybe 60 people signed up, and everybody enjoyed and had a great time. So it totally worked out. So the second the negative emotion hits you, you will want to make a story around it. You just don't notice it. So notice that moment when you turn the feeling into the story and stop. And the good way to stop is to tap, right? So you'll just go, okay, that feeling, it's safe to let it go. Whatever it is, it's safe to feel it, right? It's safe to process it. It's okay. It's just a feeling. Something coming up, subconscious becoming conscious. It's okay to let it go. Just let it go. Alrighty, so let's move on to tip number 4. Don't make a story around it. Tap on negative emotions. Release it. Move on. Tip number 5 is be persistent. Persistent is your best friend. It really does work, guys. It works on so many different levels. Like I personally experienced tapping on the physical diseases. I experienced tapping on myself and my clients with relationships problems. Absolutely works. I experienced it with kids issues, with business issues, with money issues, with the weight loss, right? I lost like 20 pounds in the last 2 months. It really does work. Now, Persistence is the key, and Robert Smith, he talks about that a lot. But I really want to point it out, and what if there's like one gift you take out of this video, let it be this. Adapt an attitude of when, not if. Let me explain. So a lot of people, when they want something and they go after this, they'll say, well, if I make the money that I like, then, I'll have a happy family. Or if I make that much money, then, I'll become a business owner. So what I want to encourage you is to go after you want, go wholeheartedly. Don't go if, go when. It's when I'll create this happy relationships. It's when I'm going to have a six-figure business. It's not a matter of if. There's no doubts in that at all. And if you have doubts, guess what? You got it. Tap, right? So start watching your attitude around different things in your life, because if these downs creep up, you'll find the ways to self-sabotage yourself. So whatever you are deciding, give yourself permission to have it. Because guess what, gorgeous? You totally deserve it. Whatever it is that you want, it's at your feet. If you deserve it, if you give you the permission to have it, you tap out the negative stuff, you notice negative emotions, you tap in the morning, in the moment, and you don't create stories around it. So I hope this video was helpful. I wish you fun time tapping and enjoying this amazing, amazing technique. Tap yourself, teach your children, teach your parents if they open, teach your friends. It's really, really awesome. I think I see the future where this is taught in schools, where people know what tapping is and how helpful it is, and just really have fun with this. If you have questions, you know where to find me, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.